How Starbucks Saved My Life by Michael Gates Gill. Michael Gates Gill was born in Connecticut, the son of Anne Gill and renowned New Yorker writer Brendan Gill. Educated at Yale, he went to work at the J. Walter Thompson Advertising Agency. After 25 years as a creative director at JWT, he was fired. He tried to start his own consulting company, but the next years brought increasing professional and personal crisis. Entering his 7th decade, he was struggling to survive. Almost by accident, he was offered a job at Starbucks. He was able to step behind the scenes of one of the world's most intriguing organizations, where inspiring friendships were born and new life lessons were learned. Today, he lives and works as a barista at a Starbucks in the New York area. How Starbucks Saved My Life takes place in New York, where Michael grew up, but particularly in Starbucks on Broadway Street. How Starbucks Saved My Life starts off by detailing how Michael went to Yale. Quickly after graduating from Yale, he was offered a job at JWT, an advertising agency where he would be following in his dad's footsteps. Early on in the book, we are told about how Michael has a brain tumor. He doesn't want to operate on it right away because he's scared. Michael later on loses his job because of old age, so he cheats on his wife and ends up having his 5th child. After losing his job at JWT, Michael becomes very depressed. He doesn't know what to do with his life. Since his family has left him, Michael is on his own. He doesn't know what to do or what's going to happen next. But quickly he is offered a job at Starbucks. Through this job at Starbucks, he learns how to respect himself and respect others. He gets a new perspective on life and learns how to live his life the correct way. Michael uses an informal tone in his novel to get across the message that sometimes it's okay to not be on top of things. You can find happiness in just the little things in life, like a job at Starbucks. One of the main characters in this book is Crystal. Crystal is the manager of the Starbucks that Michael will later work at. She met him randomly at a Starbucks and gave him the job opportunity of a lifetime. Little did she know just how much she would influence Michael Gill's life. Another main character in this novel is Kester. Kester is a former gang member and kind of intimidates Michael at first because he's big, tall, scary looking, and black. But little does Michael know that one night Kester is going to save his life. One example of sensory image in this novel is when Michael is talking about his old family maid. Nana was loving and large and soft. This young woman was professional, small, with a great figure. Nana had several gaps in her warm smile. This young woman's smile was a perfect, dazzling white. Nana was like a mother to me. This woman had already made clear she would relate to me as a boss to an employee. One rhetorical device that Michael uses a lot through his novel is pathos, like when he says, "But over these last weeks, waiting for her call without any other options surfacing to give me hope, I had realized that Starbucks offered me a way, perhaps the only way to handle the cost of my upcoming brain tumor operation and support my young son and my other children. To support myself, I was facing the reality, in my old age, of literally not being able to support myself. I had left my former wife with our large house, and I was down to the last of my savings, and now I was facing the prospect that I might not be able to meet next month's rent." Another time Michael uses sensory language is when he's detailing the time that he almost got himself killed. He details the guy who tried to kill him by saying that he was deep into his computer. He had unpacked his backpack and had papers scattered everywhere. He was a mess. Michael also has a caring attitude while writing his novel. You can tell that when Kester said that he did a great job on the clothes, that he had an unusual swell of pride in him. Or, whenever Crystal complimented him on how well he cleaned, he felt really good about himself. Michael loved his job at Starbucks, and he really cared for the people there. Michael also uses understatements a lot, like when he says that Starbucks is only semi-important to his regular guest, or that certain regular customers, like the professor, only comes in every once in a while, when in fact they come in every single day. How Starbucks Saved My Life has gotten a lot of good reviews, like the Chicago Sun-Times that said, "Michael Gates Gill, How Starbucks Saved My Life, a son of privilege learns to live like everyone else, is like a decaf triple grande vanilla non-fat latte with whip. It was immediately satisfying." While I may not know what that drink tastes like, I do know that this book really was immediately satisfying. Some critics are disagreeing and saying that this book is simply being used as a promotional tool for Starbucks. Anyone who reads the book can clearly see that that is not true. Michael has passion and finds himself in his job at Starbucks. He simply loves it just because it was able to take him back to the simple meanings of life. Michael Gates Gill captures his readers' hearts in his novel How Starbucks Saved My Life by having such strong passion for his job and realizing life isn't all about having everything.